So over the sort of Christmas period, I picked up a couple of these little mini arcade systems. They're called MyArcade micro players, and they're basically just one game on a mini arcade cabinet. And as you can see here, I've got one that's a Pac-Man one, and I've also got one that's a Dig Dug one. And I just wanted to show them and just show you what I think of them as well. So on the sides, you've got all the sort of artwork that you'd expect to see, and from what I can tell, it looks fairly authentic in terms of the style of it. So yeah, really nice. The D-pad has this sort of joystick attached to it, which if you unscrew it, it does actually come off, and then you can play the game as a D-pad instead if you want. Although personally, I do prefer to use the little arcade sort of stick that's attached to it. So yeah, that's the Pac-Man one. Really simple, and also to power it on, you press this. So really simple to use. Anybody could use it. You can power it with batteries, and then also if you run out of batteries, you can also use a micro USB cable, like the same sort of cable that you'd have with your phone, and just plug that into a USB socket, like your I don't know, your games console or your PC or something like that. Probably use your phone charger USB thing, and that should power it up, and you should be able to play without using batteries as well, which is a bonus. You've also got a headphone jack and volume up and down as well, so if you want to play it without disturbing others, pretty good. So for the money, I think they're really decent. I mean, the Dig Dug one was the cheaper one of the two because I bought this one from HMV. It was kind of an impulse buy just after Christmas. But I've seen them on a website called mymemory.co.uk for only £24.99 brand new, which I think is a really good deal. And I paid a couple of quid more for mine from mymemory.co.uk, and it was nicely packaged and everything like that. Nice and secure, no damage, and it was all brand new in the box and everything. So yeah, no problems using that website if you've not used it before. And yeah, if you want a bargain, go to them because it's the cheapest price I could find. 25 quid for one of these seems pretty decent in my opinion. So yeah, the Dig Dug one is basically the same as the Pac-Man in terms of everything that's laid out. You've got the same D-pad / analog, not analog, arcade stick that you can screw off and use the D-pad, and as you know, yeah, use the arcade stick. But of course, because this is Dig Dug, it has a button to pump the monsters, which sounds really weird when you say it like that, but that's what you have to do in that game. You have to basically inflate and blow up monsters, which sounds violent as anything when I think about it. Yeah, so everything else about it is pretty much the same, apart from just the fact that you've got that extra button there. And on the back, it's all the same as well. The same batteries, the same headphone jack, everything like that is the same. So yeah, these are pretty decent, like I say, for the money, and why don't we have a quick go on them? So yeah, let's have a go on Pac-Man first. Let's move that one over a bit. I'm having to do this through the viewfinder, so this is going to be interesting. I might have to zoom in a little bit. There we go. Hopefully you can see that okay. There we go. Ah, got us. But there you go, there's just a quick go on Pac-Man. It is, as far as I know, not the arcade ROM, which I think is unreasonable to expect a £25 mini arcade system to have an actual arcade ROM on it. It's the NES versions of the game, so if you've already got an NES and those sort of games, it might not appeal to you. Like if you're a hardcore sort of collector or anything like that, I don't think you'll like this personally. But if you're more of a casual player, and in particular if you're someone like me who doesn't necessarily have a lot of the older systems anymore, then this is a really good way just to enjoy a couple of games that actually were really good back in the day and still are really fun. And Pac-Man's probably my favourite of the two, but I do also quite like Dig Dug as well. Now, Dig Dug in particular, I actually hadn't played this before until recently, so I don't have any nostalgia for it or anything like that, but I actually think it's a really solid little game. I mean, it's really simple. You just... Here we go. Hopefully the camera's picking that up okay. Trust me, it really looks a lot better in real life than it does on this camera. Oh god, nearly got hit straight away. And the sound's decent as well. I mean, this is the default volume setting. Hopefully it's coming through well enough on this camera. And it sounds decent as well. Oh god. Yeah, again, that's Dig Dug as well. Another really solid game. So yeah, that is those micro arcades. Really, really cheap for what you're getting. I think it's a really cheap and good deal personally. 25 quid for one of these. So yeah, I'll leave a link to the mymemory.co.uk page. There's about 10 different ones I think at the minute on there, and there may be more in other countries, but at least in the UK there's about 10 different ones to buy. I've got my eye on at least one more that I want to get, but if I can't get a hold of that one, then I'll quite happily stick with these two. So anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.